Wow. Hey, good evening, everyone. And it's Monday, and because we do the Shy review, usually at 8:30, we're doing two reviews today. We're going to do the Shy first the Shy is going to be now at 7:30, and then we'll come back at 8:30 and do Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. So we wanted to do the Shy review. Hopefully, Keisha will be able to join us. If not, me and Dwayne will take it away. First and foremost, good evening, sir.
Good evening. How's it going?
Wayne. Um, like I said, very interesting episode. Me and you were actually on the phone when I was trying to watch it the second time, and I never finished watching it the second time. And I know you had saw it yourself. What you think?
Um, I thought it was a throwaway episode, which is kind of hard to have a throwaway episode this late in the season with only two episodes left. I mean, there was a Love Jones episode. Um, it borderlined on plagiarism or copyright infringement or something. Um, I think it was too heavy on the Love Jones
Hold on
aspect.
1 second, Wayne. Keep talking.
I thought it was too heavy on the Love Jones aspect, and I don't know why they went down that road. I definitely don't like their Papa angle and what they're doing with Papa, and he throws the party for Maisha, and she starts talking to the other dude, and young Papa goes over there and say, that's my lady, and she basically tell Papa, no, you ain't. I'm not your lady. This, that, and the third. So I didn't like that. I think the whole Kevin, Gemma, Jake thing is sloppy. So I hope Kev leave her alone now. I hope he get the point that she just don't want to deal with him. So hopefully he moves on. The Emmett Tiff thing, I don't know, man. Like, is she trying to make Tiff look bad? Because Emmett, humbled himself, said he wants to end the open relationship thing, and she talking about she don't want him to cheat on her or whatever. I don't know. I think she really feeling the other dude contract, and I don't know. I don't know. I was
I
a little disappointed in the episode myself. I think there was so many things undone from the last episode. Like you got none of the Nina and Dre thing. You ain't get none of that. So I don't know. Overall, I wasn't a big fan of this episode.
I took some notes, which was interesting. That's what I was getting. So, and my notes was on the other side of the room. And it's funny that I kept dropping the papers that I wrote the notes because this is what the episode did. The episode dropped the ball, in my opinion, as well. I really was bothered with the over Love Jones theme. I didn't mind the Love Jones theme if this was Emmett trying to woo Tiff back, to work on their marriage, in his eyes, to work on their marriage. So I thought that was overboard. Like I said they did it so much. It was like, man, how could you run out of ideas? And it bothered me. I thought that they went too far with this whole episode was about the kids. I think the placement of the episode actually, the episode was episode 8, and you're going against two other shows. One premiered last week, another premiered this week, and that 9 o'clock slot on Sunday night is prime real estate during non-football season. So a lot of these networks are using that slot as like this is money time. So I'd be interesting. I don't usually look at TV ratings. Definitely the shows that we watch, I just watch them. But I'd be interested to see what their ratings was the first 7 weeks compared to this week, and even with last week with Animal Kingdom premiering, because I know it's the last season for that, and I know a lot of people are into that. Um, I was like the Kevin and Jake and Mike and Gemma thing. They killed us. They did this whole season has been basically one misplaced story. Like I said, this episode probably should have been episode 4. I mean, you don't get to episode 8 and not start leading up to the climax of what the show is going, what this season has been all about. And you know, it's interesting that I can tell you the first season what the first season was about. I could tell you what the second season was about. I could tell you we all remember last season when we first started doing the show. The main theme was Keisha being kidnapped. I can't tell you what this season has been about. What has been the overall message? We've been critical on the show and critiquing this show, and I think rightfully so. I think they have deserved everything that we've said. We expected more, and they really it's been a real downer. Um, I'm gonna just rate the show right now. I think it's a 3 out of 10. I mean, I know that it's a lot of people that say that they like The Shy. We do too, but this season has really been bad. Coming off a strange and COVID filled season last year, you would think that with the quote unquote new normal, they would be a little bit more organized. One of the things that me and you discussed, Dwayne, was when we finally figured it out. The casting for the shot is good. It's just that the writers. I mean, I don't even think like we discussed last week. I don't even think the writers are in the same room. They're literally all over the place. And I'm disappointed in Lena because she quote unquote broke a lot of barriers with this show and her. But it's like, yo, you representing your city, and it's really bad. And we see a lot of shows, and we always talk about representation, representation, representation. And I don't need every show to be super positive, but we are the target audience. That's something that will be mentioned a lot in the next couple of weeks, because when you're the target audience, you have to be able to bring the people in. And if I would have told somebody, you should really watch The Shy, they would have been all over the place. They'd been like, I don't like that. It hasn't really captivated us. It doesn't remind us of as kids. Man, you've been friends since sixth grade, so it don't make me and you be like, yo, remember such and such from back in the day? We don't remember none of it. Just stuff. These kids act like adults. They running around with the burden of the world on their shoulders. So
Yeah.
I won't be too wordy tonight, Dwayne. I just,
Nah,
I was kind of disappointed.
I think they have the kids being too grown and with real grown up situations. Um, I just think there's so many storylines that they're leaving undone. Like uh, Rose and her wanting to be in administration and her doing a lot of talking while Duda's on the men. And you haven't seen her for like 2 episodes.
And then another thing, they show where Yolanda, the name of the actress that plays Jada, her name is Yolanda, and she really did cut her hair in real life. And she gave a live and a big thing about being able to identify with women who had breast cancer. And she went into this big thing and rightfully showing solidarity and support. And then boom, you come back the next week and you don't even show her.
Don't show her. You end last week with a devastated Dre finding out that Nina cheated on her. And then you don't even touch that this episode. You don't touch it like at all. Um Emmett going to Papa for advice on women. This is a man that has 3 kids, maybe more. And you go into one of these high school kids that work for you for advice on relationships.
If anything, if you follow the Emmett story, he would have went to Darnell. Definitely after he done already went to Darnell when he found out his mother had cancer. I mean, you haven't even really showed Darnell this whole season. I mean, we talked about, and I always joke and talk about Papa, and I used a flyer for Papa when he was a kid because I thought it was interesting. You had sent it to me before.
Yeah.
Papa is nothing but a glorified extra now. Like, and why are you doing him dirty? That's what I understand. The way Maisha talks to him now is like she's mean to him. Like, I just don't.
It's crazy. And Maisha telling Kev she gave him his swag. Like I gave you your swag when me and you was dealing with each other. Like, you know, then you touching on how she's worried about how society is putting comments on her posts and all that. So you putting that in the mix, but you ain't really touching on it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
just weird. Yeah, Kevin did. Nicole, you're right. Kevin did say something to Emmett, but it's like it's a weird episode placed at 8. Like I said, usually these episodes coming towards the end is like building up. I mean, that episode should have been episode 4. Jake and
Yeah.
Kevin, these guys always were brothers. They never let nothing come between them, and now they finally got them shaking hands and having this conversation.
Well,
And then even the conversation with Gemma and Kevin, they made it like a ex love. Like these are kids. Kids don't know what they want to do. We didn't know what we wanted to do back then.
yeah, and on that point, like even with Trig saying something to Jake about, yo, you went and you took your boy's girl. Like you would have thought he would have had this conversation with him weeks ago when he first found out, you know, that Jake was dealing with Joe. You know, um, then you had the whole last episode, the whole trap house, and what they were going to do with the trap house, and what they was going to do with the girl, and the girl with the throwaway line talking about she can get down with the sheetrock or whatever, however she said it. But then you don't touch on that at all. Like so, the story is not flowing
Yeah,
the
it's not.
way
It,
the way it
and
should.
Dwayne, I know that shows always have the main theme, and then you have a bunch of backstories. We haven't seen Dom. Why they haven't been showing Dom? I think a conversation should have been had. Like, why did Darnell? I mean, why did Emmett tell Tiff? Dom never confronted Emmett about that. Like, yo, why you tell her? Like, this was before y'all got married, and even so much that's so much, Dwayne, because he told her and didn't tell her this is before you got married. Now it's the situation with this open marriage, and one of the young ladies in the group was like, how do we feel about it? Um, I think Tiff's response is her response. I think that she's feeling Dante, which Dante, for those that don't know, is one of the Maori twins' husband, and he's a pretty decent actor in his own right. And it's like, are you gonna bring him in the show or what? Don't just have him doing these cameo appearances. And come on, I believe that most young people have been heartbroken before. Emmett would not have made her no breakfast the next morning after hearing his voice. Like they just going too far with Emmett. I get him trying to make it work and being in love. If anything, that love, he would have reacted off of emotion and went and found Tiff. He would
They
not have just been like, okay.
they trying to show Emmett's growth as a man, right? And how he's trying to grow. You wouldn't even know that he got other kids. Like his mother's sick, he wouldn't have brought all his kids to see their
Yeah.
grandmother. Like he's supposed to be having this growth, and it's not like he don't know the baby mothers they was all there for the opening of Smokey, all of them, and so again, I don't think the creator and the writers give the people who are watching their show enough credit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just throw stuff out there, and like we haven't been watching this show, like
Mm-hmm.
we new to the show or whatever. So I just don't think they collaborate on these thoughts and what they want to do. And I guess now we've been calling for that. However,
Nicole, you said Emmett, but you said Emmett really was never cool with the open marriage. Nicole, Emmett agreed to it because of Tiff, because he wanted to keep her, but Emmett never really agreed with it. Now they done made it seem like he's messing with all these girls. The one girl that they showed that he was messing with the whole time, it was some activity going on. He was thinking about Tiff. I mean, I think that the whole thing is crazy. The the open marriage thing is crazy. Definitely for younger people, you don't really hear younger people talk like this.
No.
Even for them getting married, younger kids, younger people nowadays, definitely they don't even think about marriage like that. Um, it's just all over the place. Like you said, Nicole, it's a
It
lot of
is.
inconsistencies in the storyline.
And let's talk about this open marriage thing, right? It's not like Tiff is out there dealing with a lot of different jokers. She just want to deal with Dante. So, open would mean, okay, go out there and do whatever the hell you want. She just want Dante. She feeling Dante on a sexual tip more than she feeling her own husband. So why would Emmett be cool with that? Like, why would he be cool with that? He ain't gonna be cool with that when he know his wife is feeling another man on this. It's not like I said. It's not like she out here sleeping with multiple partners, man. She just digging Dante, and she don't want the Dante thing to end. That's why she ain't take that new ring or whatever. She don't want the Dante thing to end, so she got to make a
I
decision.
I think based off of what they've done so far in the show and where they might be trying to go, they should just have Tiff and Emmett go their separate ways.
Yeah,
And the reason why I say that, and it may sound crazy, is continue to show Emmett developing as a young man, knowing he can't handle it because he can't handle it, and it's not going to change. He's not going to someday just wake up. And Tiff is deserving of her happiness. She seems good. I mean, I don't know if you're going to continue expanding her role because her role has gotten bigger each year, but it's like, what are you doing? Even the whole awkward thing when he called Keisha.
he
He
talked
said,
to
"Did you ever
the
think that they?"
Jones.
He it was basically he was about to ask Keisha, "Do you think what would have happened if me and you would ever like?"
Yeah,
Now Keisha's friends with him and friends with the girl that he was messing with while he was messing with her, and she's giving all this advice, and she's broken. She don't trust this guy, but then she trusts the guy. And what's his whole
I
outlook? What's
trust
his
the
whole
guy.
role?
Something off with this dude. Something's off with him. I don't know what it is, but I think they're gonna pull something out of the sky. Um, you know, but he had to think it would, Nicole, because she already had a prior relationship with Dante. He know how she was feeling about Dante, so Emmett had to know that it was gonna go that way. He had to, deep down inside, because there was already a pre-existing relationship with Dante prior to their marriage. So that's why he was reluctant to even get involved with this open thing. Think about it. When Emmett had the scene with the girl, when he was trying to have sex with the girl or whatever, when they agreed upon an open relationship, he wasn't even really into the shit. Excuse me. He just wasn't really into it. But, Tiff just looked this. All right, he hurt me by sleeping with Dom. I'm going to go find the dude that will hurt him the most if I sleep with him. And so that's what she's doing. But at the same time, she's enjoying that interaction with Dante. So to me, it ain't no true open relationship. Now, if they in the sex club and they got all those different partners at the sex club and they open like that, but Tiff ain't going after nobody but Dante.
Yeah, and I did notice one scene. I mentioned it to you yesterday. I wasn't digging at them at all the seasons, all the shows. They had Papa cuss. Like I just thought that was weird. I mean, you have him being who he is, and then he's always the level head one. Like, why are you taking him through so much stuff? Why are you gonna have him cuss? I just don't get the Maisha being angry with him so much. Even last week, you trying to steal my shine, huh? I believe that Papa really does sincerely like her, and he's trying to promote her, like my queen, and this, that,
I
and
mean,
the
he a
third.
little jealous. He a little jealous of her success, and he ain't having the success with his podcast or whatever. So he is a little jealous there on that tip. But he generally do like her though, and threw this party for her or whatever. And then she kind of played him like with the other dude, and he had to sit there and watch that. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. So was this episode like? I know there's been a lot of people. I'm reading a lot of places that people love this episode. And
I think this episode. I think that the thing is that the reason why they like the episode, Dwayne, is because Love Jones speaks to us. So a lot of people like Love Jones the movie. I know there's some people I know that never seen Love Jones, but if you watch Love Jones, it make you feel like I remember I was in that situation in love or whatever. But it doesn't speak to those kids. See, that's my thing. It was a Love Jones thing for them. Now, if you would have did it with Darnell, I mean, even with the movie thing.
No. But that's a good point, right? You could have did a Love Jones at the high school reunion instead of Cooley High. Like, she's missing the mark on the different audiences and what she's trying to accomplish for her and the other writers of the shows. But I don't know. I've spoken to a few people that love this episode. I mean, I guess if you that big of a Love Jones fan, I guess, But Emmett talking about Love Jones with Keisha before he's even doing it with Tiff. So what was that all about?
Weird situation.
There's a lot of weird stuff. The whole Gemma and Maisha going back and forth. Well, Maisha always gonna have some type of feelings for Kev too, because that's the first dude that she was really feeling. So,
and even when the time she kissed him, he was like,
but you know what I mean. She always had.
They made it seem like it was such a great item, and even Kev said you took Papa took you, like, just weird. But Dwayne, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really have much else to say about the episode.
Nah, I give it a 2. I give it a 2. I mean, I didn't enjoy it. Usually, as we know, I will watch multiple times. I watched it once, and I half watched it like midway through because I'm like, so what you going to next week? You gonna jump right back into action with Duda and Trig and what's Tracy's role now? Like, so what are you doing next week? What do we have to look forward to next week? Next week, Emmett and Dom discussing what's going on with her not accepting a proposal. Is next week where Nina and Dre have it out? Like, what's next week? Tell me. Where we going? What's next week's episode? What's the goal?
I don't know. He just seems a little too clean cut. Nicole.
And I'll be honest with you, and I'll tell everybody behind the scenes. I told Q, I can only give you about 5 minutes on this episode, right? So I'm way over my time. I can't believe this episode as long as I did.
Honestly, we're about to close the show. You gave it a 2. I gave it a 3. I know people expect us sometimes to do review shows long, but you base your review based off the show, and we don't want to keep rehashing the same things and saying how we feel about the show. So with that, we're gonna close the show, and if you into reviews, we're gonna review Kanan, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, next. And with that, y'all, for those that just tuned in to watch us talk about The Chi, we appreciate you guys, and we got 2 weeks left to finish reviewing that. We're gonna finish that and finish it all the way through, and then give it our yearly review. We're not gonna sit and play with it and not be serious.
Listen, I hope the last 2 episodes are bangers, man. I hope they threw us this little, side show. This episode seemed like it was separate from all the other episodes of The Chi to me. So hopefully she got that out of her system, and she finishes with a bang, man. Finish that.
With that, everybody take care.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Please continue to join us here for conversations on hot topics, interviews with special guests, and our featured programs such as the Poetry Corner, where you can hear dope poets from around the country creating that poet cafe vibe, and Crown Rules, our virtual book club on love, intimacy, and healthy relationships. Let's talk. We are everywhere you want to be. Follow us on YouTube at Let's Talk, Facebook at Let's Talk, and on Instagram at Let's Talk 1931. Have a suggestion? Give us a call at 570-795-4283. Or for business inquiries, please email us at ltalk5600@gmail.com. Let's talk. I water you, you